Pat, what's your Ichiban today?
Hey there, Ronnie B. You did it again. Sarah Palin accepts David Letterman's apology.
Well, I had to do everything I could to bring those two kids together. Now, having said that, is there still going to be the big protest about today at 4:30? There's supposed to be a protest in front of Letterman's studio by the faked, outraged people who want to talk to, who want to bring David Letterman down. Let's head on over here to Keith in San Francisco. Keith, you're on the Ron Fez show.
Hey, what's the deal with Al Sharpton getting on Hannity last night and bashing Letterman? I mean, what the hell does that have to do with anything?
Well, that is one of the things that happens when the negative people, the people who, you know, his deal was he brought down Imus.
Right.
And it's coming up right now because the people who were able to say, once we get a talker in trouble, we can all point back to Imus or O&A and show that we've had some success with this. And we'll talk with Debbie when she comes in later. But basically, it is the usual suspects.
How come they never bring up Tawana Brawley?
Because Tawana Brawley never said anything about Sarah Palin's daughter.
Thank you.
If she had, it'd been a lie.
It's quite a bit of show business that takes place here yesterday. And when I did watch HTG on the headline news, the guy who was outraged was fake outraged. What am I going to do if my sons are with me and they see this? And they say, Dad, what's a three-way? I'd crack up if a little kid said to me, what's a three-way? I'd be fucking falling on them. I'd say, you're adorable. You're absolutely the cutest thing ever. Here is Brian. Brian in New Mexico. You're on Fez.
Hey, with all this absurdity, when is somebody going to come to A-Rod's defense for Letterman implying he's a pedophile?
Well, he doesn't have to imply that. He just states it. And that's not so much for anything that A-Rod has done or any past history, but he is a Dominican. So, open and shut case. I think Letterman ought to go back on tonight and apologize again. I think you should just keep apologizing over and over and over, Dave, because it really makes you look strong. 866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. All right, coming up a little later on in the show, this has got to fall through for us, but Crosby, Stills, and Nash are supposed to stop by. Also, HTG is going to come in and tell us about her adventures protecting free speech, and we will get a chance to ask her about the Tower of Jello, David Letterman, laying down for the Republican Party and the Palins. Dave, would you go to the Fire David Letterman sign today? Would you go out there at 4:30? And I need you in a different kind of sign now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was going to tell you, that the protest is still on for 4:30. Still going on as planned.
All right, let's do this. Dave, would you be willing to go to the protest with a sign? But I want your sign to be a little different. Instead of like, Fire David Letterman, what if you just have a sign that says, fuck, cock, shitty hand job? And you're just carrying that back and forth to see if that helps.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. I'd love to play my part, you know?
Well, it's got to be something that can get on TV. What about this? Your sign says, David Letterman called my mom a monkey-faced loser.
All right. I mean, he might have. David Letterman.
It's not far from the truth. He could have.
All right, they're saying bring your Fire David Letterman signs. PG only, please. Play by the rules. Be polite and make the point. So far, the only advertiser they've got to stop, I believe, is Empire Suites, the hotel chain, who this is a great point, was not advertising on the David Letterman show, but were in fact on the CBS website. This is how fucking stupid that is. And Fez, you can laugh at that if you like, but once that gets rolling, that is what my biggest fucking complaint about this kind of stuff is. All right, Fez, what do you want him to say on his sign? And PG only, please.
Chris Elliott is my real dad.
I don't know how old you are, but Chris Elliott hasn't been on the show now since CBS.
I might as well give a Larry Bud Melman joke.
Yeah. He was only at NBC. I don't think he made the trip over.
But he looks like Chris Elliott could be his real dad.
But that's not against Dave. I should be doing something against Dave,
Yeah,
right?
not just saying Chris Elliott.
Dave,
Right.
How about Dave molested my mind? You have molestation in there, but it's not like it's PG because it's my mind.
I'm 14 years old and David Letterman made me cry.
All right, what about this?
David touched me.
A-Rod, more like Gay Rod. And then have a big thing of a dick. And his pointing, Gay Rod, is pointing at the dick.
Well, everything except the dick part. I don't think that's PG.
How about this? You have a sign. It just is an erect penis
right
with semen coming out. And you put the sign up to your mouth and act like it's going into your mouth.
I'm drinking it. That would be cool. Maybe I fill up the cock with milk.
All right.
I'll drink it. I'll drink it.
But we need something that can get on TV. Bill in PA, what would you like to see Eastside Dave do today at the Letterman?
How about David Letterman raped me when I was 14?
David Letterman raped me.
That was close to the molestation.
866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. Here is Robert. Robert, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, gentlemen. I think Dave's protest would be more effective if he actually played himself off as a real protester, but wrote on a sign like, I hate freedom of speech, and just went violently crazy about how he hates freedom of speech.
That could be kind of good. Enough with the freedom of speech. Let's gag Letterman. Let's destroy freedom of speech.
It's such an overrated amendment anyway.
All right, I got another idea. I've been trying to do this. What about you just carrying a big thing of balloons and the sign says, follow me to the movie Up?
Oh, yeah. Everyone loves that movie.
I'd go with Conan won't make it till September.
And now this looks like Letterman won't make it till September. You may have brought in the Watley Jinx. Eric in Colorado.
Yeah, buddies. Hey, would this be a sign of the times?
Why don't you put a big clock on that and it just says sign of the times and it's at 11 o'clock?
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's kind of like
it
a
is.
Flavor Flav thing.
Sure. Justin, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ronnie, maybe Dave can shove something up his ass. It's got him this far.
Well, it has, but not in the right way.
No, I mean, I don't think that Mr. Letterman needs to see that anyway.
Scott, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, guys, I think Dave should just do the exact joke in quotes.
That probably is not bad at all. Here's Mike. Mike, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, the motto of the Caribbean, anything past 12 is lunch.
That's not a bad idea. Anything past 12 is lunch. Tom, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, how about a sign that says Dave Letterman endorses shooting defenseless woodland creatures from low-flying planes and helicopters?
All right, that's actually not bad at all. Just write how much did Letterman spend on his wardrobe and say if that doesn't get out there.
Just have the picture of that turkey going into the meat grinder and said, now this is offensive.
Francesca, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Yeah, I think Dave should have a sign that says David Letterman, why so cheap, why so gay?
Biff, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, Letterman, Westboro Baptist Church.
All right, God hates fags. Or what if you just leave it as God hate fogs and just say for PC?
Yeah, and plus it's really misty out.
Actually, it's not bad if you could do it in the same lettering and do God hates Letterman.
Okay. Well, the possibilities are endless.
Yeah. Here is John. John, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, maybe Dave could put a hat out, and instead of Better Man, he can sing Letterman.
Can't fire a Letterman. Well, we have to decide.
What did Eddie Vedder want? A better man for himself?
For, no, the girl. The girl deserved a better man, you know? She waits him, she won't him.
What?
No, and you can. Wait a second.
What are you doing? Fucking Klingon.
Always count on me.
No, that part sounds similar. I got on the wrong track because both trains are similar. Yeah, like it sounds like.
Steve, it's over. Those singing Tootsie Roller. Steve, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
How you doing, Ron?
Yeah.
Who's nailing Palin? How about that sign?
Who's nailing Palin?
I saw the porno. It makes sense for me to comment on it.
Mike, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hi, yeah. Letterman will read anything on the teleprompter.
Nick, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
How you doing, guys? My sign would have balloons, and it would say, "Follow me and Dave Letterman's ratings to up."
All right, that's not bad. Eric in Cleveland.
How about David Letterman? How about David Letter Raperman?
Wordy.
I like it, though. I like it because it's just crazy enough.
Thanks, buddy.
David Letter Raperman. Yeah.
Just be like this, Letterman and the Jew-controlled media. Wait, that sounds like the media's controlling Jews.
This is Zionist government anyway that Letterman's a part of.
That's good.
And that little Canuck commie Schaefer.
All right, instead of Letterman, what about Zion Man? And then you're coming out, I am Zion Man. Dave, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Fez is a shit stabber,
Well,
but I
sure.
still love him.
Cody in Indiana.
How about Conan never called me no minor?
Jesse, you're on the Ron and Fez show. What do you want Dave's sign to say?
I think it should say, "Leave Letterman alone. I'm a dog fucker."
All right, the problem there is we're looking for PC.
That's not PC, sir.
And why don't you just have a big sign that says PC, but then underneath it, pussy control. I'm a pussy controller. That's the only PC I am. And then, when you get a close-up on you, you sniff two fingers.
Oh, I'd like to do that. I'm going to do that even if I don't have the pussy control sign.
Yeah. And then go like this into the camera. You sniff two fingers and goes, man, my ass smells great today. What did you think that was? Pussy? No, it's my own ass.
Or I could do PC, BS. Like, you know, play.
Here's Vinny. Vinny.
What's up, guys? What's up, Fez? Hey, my sign should say, drill her now.
Drill, baby, drill. Drill, babies, drill. Tom, you're on Ron and Fez.
My sign is yes to Letterman, no to Prop 8.
Joe, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
How about, hey, Letterman, welcome to IMF's world.
What sign? Doesn't he have his son's Harry, right?
Yeah.
So we should have a sign. Let's rape Harry.
All right, here's what you got to do. Here's the main thing that you got to do, Dave.
Even Steven?
You got to show up with a Fire Letterman sign, right?
Yeah.
But then underneath it, all right, you have your real sign that you break up with Let's Rape Harry or, hey, what about this? A sign that just says, hey, Mom, look at me. I'm with a bunch of right-wing lunatics. Sure. If it just says, I'm a right-wing lunatic, it would be fucking great.
Wouldn't be the first time my mom saw that.
Bill, you're on Ron and Fez.
Big ass 29,875, buddy.
What do you got?
How about Leno sucks and Conan swallows?
Here's John. John, what do you got?
At least Letterman didn't have a retarded baby.
Dave's kid, something's wrong with it?
No, mine isn't. Maybe. Oh, Palin.
Sarah Palin's is.
Palin.
Oh, yeah. I said Dave Letterman. Did you think that's you?
Yeah.
No, mine isn't. We know, you fucking imbecile.
Okay.
Clean bill of slate.
Maybe the acorn doesn't fall far from the trig, which is the baby's name.
Yeah, but we want people to be able to understand it. I mean, I'm sure that if we were doing some kind of wordplay test, that would be great. I'm a right-wing lunatic. It just make it seem like you're part of it. But first, you got to have the double signs. Fez, are you going to take control of this for him?
Yes, I'll help him with this, yes.
You got to let the boss know that you're going to do this gimmick, too.
Okay.
We got to get some... We'll get one of the interns to run out and get those signs right now.
Professionally made?
No, we'll get some cardboard. We'll get some things. We'll do it right now.
It's going to stink. So, 1 under, 1 and the top one is great. And then the bottom one just says I'm a right-wing lunatic.
Right. It's probably, yeah, if you got 3 pieces of, good poster board, and then the 2 are just normal, and then I drop those 2, and in the middle one that I'm holding is the real sign.
The real deal.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the plan where we make it more complicated than it has to be.
What is so complicated about
Why does he need 3 poster boards? He needs 2.
Well, he wants to hide the one in the middle.
Yeah, I want to hide the one in the middle, plus I want to make the one in the middle double-sided. Just in case, always make things double-sided.
Sure, of course.
So on one side will probably be let's rape Harry.
No.
On the other side, I'm a right-wing lunatic.
All right. You want the let's rape Harry, but I don't like bringing people's kids into it.
Well, he did it. I thought that was the thing.
I know, but we're not against him.
The Fire David Letterman rally website,
Yeah.
one of the things they write is CBS should fire David Letterman just like they fired Don Imus. And that's
Exactly.
what happens.
Exactly true. And that's why it always reminds me, every time this fucking happens, it's like the zebras at the pond, where the lion comes in, hits one of the zebras, and the other zebra goes, "What? That fucking guy had it coming." You know what I mean? You're not paying attention. That sooner or later it's going to hit you.
And the zebras aren't coming to the pond anymore. And, one of the people who wrote a letter to CBS about the Letterman thing had written that what we want from this is for CBS to send a clear message that we won't tolerate people making jokes about women. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but it's pretty close to that. Why is it bad to joke about women or men or redheads or people with Brooklyn accents? So we can't joke anymore about people.
Yeah, because somebody's always going to be on the shit end of that stick, no matter who it is.
It's actually, there's a lot of benefit that comes from joking and making fun of things and attacking things from a comic perspective. And there's a bonding thing that comes from it. There's a lot of benefits to allowing people to make fun of things.
Now, here's my deal. And I'll throw it out to you, Fuzzy. You got Sarah Palin. It's okay to do jokes about her. I think everybody in the country goes, hey, she's a political figure, blah, blah, blah. But then he, brought her kids in, which is normally like, why, if you have a problem with anyone, and I've discussed this with you before, when you have fights with people, you tend to attack their loved ones,
Right.
And I say, well, that's not really fair game. But unlike some people, Sarah Palin is kind of using her family, out there as part of the marketing of who she is. Same could be said of Obama with his kids. He's not really attempting to hide those children from the public eye.
Yeah, I mean, Sarah Palin's daughter, the one that Letterman claims he was joking about, cover of People magazine. She's going to be the new national abstinency spokesmodel.
Well, there was a confusion where he said he thought he was talking about one kid.
Right.
But it was the other one that she brought out that night. And that's the thing that brought him down.
And I think it's pretty obvious because the joke doesn't make any sense if it's about the younger daughter.
We got loaded up phone lines here today. Debbie Wolf in with us, the People's Champ. Hi, I don't have your name, but you're calling from Mississippi.
Yeah, Dave.
Dave.
My only argument is I just think that whether you're a public figure or not, you should leave people's kids alone. As far as Dave's joke, I understood it and it didn't offend me, but I really truly believe that we're crossing a line when we start messing with public figures' kids.
I'm going to say that my own personal thing is I agree with that. I really don't think you need to be dragging in anybody else's family. There's plenty to do about Sarah Palin. But at the same time, I don't see it as something to be fired for.
Right, and I believe Bristol Palin is a public figure. There's been enough Today Show interviews.
Yeah, right, but that's not the one that he was talking about, or not.
Right.
That's not the one who was there.
But pre-Imus, the likely response to this would have been a lot of people would have written to Dave and said, that joke was tasteless, and I didn't like it.
Right.
And that would have been, the end of it. And Dave would have, people behind the scenes at Letterman would have made little notes of, okay, people don't like that. And it probably wouldn't have done something like that again. Or maybe even would have said, oh, geez, I didn't mean that. I meant the other one. And it was probably a tasteless joke anyway.
But here's the other deal, too, about Letterman. Nobody's been on TV longer than him. And how many times have you ever even thought Letterman has crossed the line? I mean, he's probably as edgy as Regis. I don't see him even slightly edgy. As a matter of fact, he was known as the guy who didn't let Bill Hicks' last fucking set get up on TV. And you watch that in hindsight, and there isn't shit there. So it's not like we have been looking at a guy, it's not like we've had Lenny Bruce on TV for years. He's not fucking edgy. So now we're also saying you can't fuck up with one joke.
You can't make one mistake.
Yeah.
That's why I don't understand people going to his advertisers, because, in the old days, that would have been the remedy for, I can't support your dish soap because you're supporting a Nazi or you're supporting a racist, someone who's consistently, and how could you support that person when it's clear that they're so injurious to society? That's not the case here.
Yeah.
That's not even close to the case here. So to say, I'm going to stop buying your dish soap because you've been advertising on a show that there's been no problem with for the last, I don't know how many years, it's just silly.
Right. And I agree. Like, you cannot compare what Letterman does to what O&A do. O&A attempt to walk out, find out where the line is, sometimes cross over, sometimes get close. They make that their business. Letterman, his edginess has been have a camera tied to a monkey's head. I mean, it's really pretty fucking sophomoric. And here's the other part, and this bothers me most of all. When they attack the advertisers, they don't just attack Letterman's advertisers.
Right.
They attack anybody who's with CBS or any other company that CBS might own or be owned by.
Yeah.
And that's that's how guys like Imus go off the air.
That's what's so frightening. This is all about sending a message that nobody on the air should even take a chance of saying something that might upset anyone. And if you think about where that takes you, I can't think of a single show that I watch or a single book that I've been reading that wouldn't be gone.
All right. Today, I believe Eastside Dave is going to join the anti-Letterman walk, which I expect. I think there's going to be tens of people out there. I really do. To bring a show watched by millions.
It would be so wacky if the band was out there, Paul Schaefer and the guys.
Their Facebook group has 150 people on it.
150 people, but not a lot of them that live in the Manhattan area.
A lot of people from Corpus Christi, Texas, planning to attend that rally today.
All right, we're going to take a break. We just got the big approval. Dave can go out to the protest today because we always got to run everything by the bosses. And now I understand Sam is going to be joining you, Dave?
That's the word on the streets, yeah, that Sam Roberts has been assigned to this job as well.
Sam and Dave coming up a little later on today. They will be hosting the Let's Fire David Letterman
I just called him. He was quite surprised.
Yeah.
I go, listen, we have a job to do, partner.
Oh, I thought that you said that O&A sent him.
No, O&A did send him, and
he wasn't going to go.
He's going, but he was at first thinking, oh, he still is going to make it a solo act. They go, not with your partner Davey Mack there.
Yeah,
it's time to team up, little buddy. I think it's going to work much better as a team effort.
Have you two ever had sex?
No comment.
Yeah, because that's the rumor. I haven't eaten at a Roy Rogers since I was a youngster. And I remember thinking, how could he be dead and have such a delicious hamburger?
There's Roy Rogers across the street from Letterman.
Is there really?
Yeah.
I'll send Dave up there today as he's trying to run Dave Letterman off of... See, I know that their juice bar was up there. I forget which juice bar it is. but it's it's a biggie. It's one of the big ones.
Dave will end up using his Laker winnings to buy Roy Rogers burgers for all the protesters.
I go with the roast beef sandwich at Roy Rogers.
Really?
Yeah, I don't go with the burgers. If I'm going to get a burger, I'll go with McDonald's.
My problem is this. If there's something you could eat at fast food, and a burger is one of them, that's what I'm going to have. Yes, over that goddamn chicken.
Some places have
They make the
specialties.
burgers fresh every day there.
Yeah, some people like Arby's and Roy Rogers make good roast beefs.
I never go into Arby's. I never walk into an Arby under any circumstances, even though my initials are RB. You think I would love it there?
Yeah, how come? Why not?
Because I walked in there once, I yelled, "I'm home," and no one got it.
Well, if you maybe show them your driver's license or something, then
I never took a test. I never did. I just assumed one day I know how to drive, and has never felt that I need the state to test me.
Do you have any kind of ID?
Well, I got that scar.
That doesn't count unless it's scarred in the initials of RB.
It is.
Then that's
And a
fucking
social security
creepy.
number?
Yeah.
Then that's some creepy Harry Potter shit.
No. I joined a gang called the Running Bastards, so I scraped an RB in. Just really, when you think about it, just pure dumb luck. That it happened to be my same initials. We haven't promoted this enough, but Eastside Dave will be there along with Sam from the O&A show to picket against. Now, do you have your posters made up?
I'm sending the interns out with the posters after the show.
Why wouldn't you do it already?
Yeah, wanted to make sure everything went smoothly today with Crosby, Stills, and Nash and whatnot.
Oh, that's great.
You know.
Tad. You're on the Run and Fez show.
Hey, Ron. Hey, Todd. I was
Fez.
trying to get an address to send Eastside Dave some baby gifts. My wife has a store.
Oh, great. What kind of baby gifts you have?
Just some sippy cups, little dolls for the kids, and
Okay.
what else?
Use
finger
sippy cups.
puppets.
It's awesome.
Well, she has a store.
What's the
biggest
address?
thing you're going to be sending them?
Huh?
And the lunchbox.
They don't sell that.
Just don't put any poison on your gifts.
I didn't think of that. And send a box of cigars. Here's Nora in New Jersey. Hello, Nora.
Hi, guys. How are you?
We're great, darling.
Good. I just wanted to point out the embarrassment I get in when my friend Mad Bam on Pal Talk shows his dolls and shows them with pride. It's very embarrassing.
And what is his name?
His name is Mad Bam. He's on Pal Talk. And at work, he's got 4 shelves worth of dolls in his office.
All right, make sure you get us a picture of that and send
Okay.
us.
I definitely will send it. Especially since he asked for dirty PMs, and I'm wondering if he reenacts them on the dolls.
You know exactly what it's for.
Mm-hmm.
You know exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that Pal Talk, huh? Are you still on there, David?
Not really. Twitter's the way of the future. You know, I like to put my Twittios up of stars like Gabriel Byrne and Chris Stanley and other stars that are in
Will you be Twitteroing your day today?
Yeah, I think I will. I think I'm going to put a couple Twittios out there.
You know what? I might go up, go out, catch a meal, walk up the street, and then watch you get arrested from afar. I think it would be a lot of fun.
I don't want to get, put in a big house.
Broadway and 53rd.
No, there's a small house right in that area.
Oh, I wouldn't mind that then.
Broadway and 53rd is what, Fez?
Broadway and 53rd is the Ed Sullivan Theater, where Eastside...
Ed Sullivan! Ed Sullivan! We're going to be on Ed Sullivan! Ed!
That's where Eastside Dave will be for the Fire Letterman protest that he is going to take part in.
Ed Sullivan's my favorite human. You'll be able to see him tonight as he fires David Letterman.
I'm going to personally take him down. And
You know
then
what I would like to do
Yeah.
to these people? They fire Letterman, and then Monday night on CBS at 11:30 is live from the compound.
Right.
So fucking deal with that, Middle America.
That was my goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, me, Anthony, and he promised I could be his sidekick if I get Letterman fired. You know, hey, Anthony, what would you need?
I thought Danny was his sidekick.
Nah, like, he doesn't have a lot to offer.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought he was well liked. Not at all, huh? I want to say thank you to my best friends in the world now, Mr. David Crosby, Mr. Graham Nash. And you know what? Yes, even you, Mr. Steven Stills. Even though you came in cranky and started beating on a cowbell before you left, you're still a sweet man. That is it for us. We'll be back here tomorrow. Yesterday's Eastside Dave. All-time weirdness. And I'm telling you that as a person who has experienced a lot of weirdness on and off the air. I never saw any shit like that in my life. All right, we'll open up the phone lines looking for your Ichibans. Ichibans. Ichiban, of course, means
number one.
Number one. That's the number one story of the day, the little water cooler story. The story all the kids are talking about out in the parking lot while they're sneaking cigarettes. 866 Ron Zero Fez. There's Carl in Westchester. Or Rochester. You're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, Ron, got an Ichiban for you.
Well, let me play this. Because I have a sounder that's exactly the same word as you said.
Mr. Access Hollywood, Eastside Dave, is a right-wing lunatic.
Eastside Dave, of course, is the right-wing lunatic. I don't know whether we have all the links of the newspaper and TV that Dave made on. I hope it's up on ronfez.net. Here's just a few. New York Magazine online, Access Hollywood, Entertainment Weekly online, The Village Voice online, an AP photograph, which I guess that just runs in all kinds of little newspapers, Fez.
Right, yeah.
The Daily Beast, Salon.com, TheStar.com, and I think that's all of them. I'm not even sure. Dave went out yesterday at the I guess you would call it a fucking boycott or a protest. It wasn't really big enough, in my opinion. There was about a dozen fucking weirdo protesters and about 200-300 news people all gathered around them. So I got up there early, and the whole thing was already full blitz before Dave got there. There was already tons of people looking for any kind of shit that they could have. One of the cool things is, as this has happened right across the street from Letterman, you just see one of Letterman's guys hanging a camera out the window, just shooting it himself. And it really was this kind of crazy fucking Andy Warhol type moment in the street. So we keep going, where's Dave? Where's Dave? Dave finally shows up. Now, he's early from when we told him, but all the other protesters were even earlier. So he's already freaked out and looking like a crazy Irish setter that he sees this thing has taken place. And he's doing that walk run that Dave has where he's just like, you already see that his brain is gone. So he goes in the middle of all this madness, and he's got his little Fire Letterman poster that he made up, which, by the way, looks like shit. And then he starts to chant Fire Dave, and immediately he brings life to these fucking asshole protesters who really didn't have the guy that could centralize them and get them crazy. So they started popping Fire Dave, Fire Dave. And the deal was, be in there for a while and then, bring down the first sign and just say, I'm a right-wing lunatic. The sign that says that. Which, of course, makes no fucking sense, except for these people weren't so much against Dave as they were wanting Sarah Palin to be the next president. And that didn't have a lot to do with Letterman or his guest. It was just some people who wanted Sarah Palin to be president. So, instead of waiting, Dave immediately drops the one poster, just has I'm a right-wing lunatic, and it's just, I don't know how to say this, Dave, but I feel like you just took the word lunatic and ran with that. The entire purpose of, Fire Dave went out the window as you started to bark, froth at the mouth, and when they tried to they tried to throw you out almost immediately, correct?
Yes, instantly.
And at that point, he's covered with media in a real Meet the Beatles kind of way. I mean, it was Beatlemania around him. So when they try to throw him out, he just starts screaming and yelling that he's being touched by Jesus, and he falls on the ground and just starts going fucking spastic.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I was touched. I was touched by the right-wing lunacy of it all, and I felt that I needed to give a hardcore demonstration.
So they basically formed their own pen. The cops were kind enough to put a little pen in the corner, and Dave just sat there, and I'm going to guess 45 minutes to an hour, continued to scream stuff out, take questions.
I was quarantined. They quarantined me from the real protest.
And the paparazzi, I guess, I don't know whether they'd be called paparazzi. Some were like legitimate news places, were just fucking screaming in laughter at Dave as if, like, this thing of his was witty. It was so fucking nuts. So every once in a while, I would see the cops gather, like, what are we going to do with Dave? What are we going to do with this redheaded lunatic? Is he a problem? And I would have to come by and go, just chill it down for a couple of minutes. And he would, maybe for 45 seconds, bring it down. And then I would just hear him screaming. He was fake crying.
I couldn't help myself.
Yeah, I know.
I was trying to adhere to your, advice.
Yeah.
But I was caught up in the
And while you're screaming, I would just walk up and I'd go, okay, take it down. Because I felt like, remember that Tom Cruise fucking NASCAR movie fest?
Oh, yeah. Thunder.
Days of Thunder.
Days of Thunder. Thank you, Chris Stanley. You're not on the rest. You're Chris Stanley. So I felt like he was Tom Cruise just going balls out. And I was like Robert Duvall trying to fucking whisper in his ear, don't burn out them tars.
I drive by the seat of my pants.
Yes, I know. What I'm trying to tell you. You're going to blow a piston, son.
It was hard to do,
You're racing, not driving, you're racing.
I think I'm a natural-born protester.
No matter what the cause, you could show up and be a hired demonstrator.
I feel that way.
Then the other demonstrators would like you. In this case, they did not.
Right.
So if you go to ronfez.net, there's plenty of pictures that were taken, as well as the list that I just read. Now, we pretty much kept it quiet who he was. At one point, when I told him, hey, the cops are talking to you, one of the women who really liked him, and I know that she was with a guy from, like, The Insider, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, that's what it was.
So she follows me out, right, and goes like this, hey, who's your friend? I go, he's not my friend. I don't know who he is.
What?
So, yeah.
You sold me out.
No, I didn't sell you out. I was just saying, I don't know who she,
okay.
I don't know who he is. And then she fucking reaches over, grabs my tag and goes, Sirius Radio. Great, thanks. And I'm like, he's not from there. I'm from there. So besides that, he stayed down. But here's what the Daily Beast, who seems to have done the only reporting on this other than people just saying there was a nut there. The Daily Beast said Palin ally John Ziegler, a Los Angeles radio host, scowled as a huge red bearded man carrying a place card reading, I'm a right-wing lunatic, whirled around and shrieked such sentiments as I hate it when people tell jokes on television. Jesus is speaking to me, and Letterman is worse than Hitler. Turns out the guy was a plant from the Ron and Fez show on Sirius XM radio. So Daily Beast is in the running, of course, for Beanie Cup today. Because how did they figure it out?
Yeah, I don't know, but I do resent being called huge. I mean, that guy really kind of narrowed in on my physical faults.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
It's a problem you have when you're in that business.
Right. I'm not sure, though, that falls into journalistic integrity.
You're told to begin with, but when you're out in public around normal people and you're going into your fits, you seem really huge.
I didn't think so. I mean, my only problem was that he had, he was all elbows and knees, and I was worried he was going to knock somebody down. But I thought you looked normal, other than the screaming.
Really? Oh, wait. Well, that's a nice thing to say. I mean, I know when I was put in my own pen with just me and a James Cameron lookalike.
James Cameron was the same height.
Right. He was taller than, even a couple inches taller, so that might be why Fez is, I don't know.
James Cameron was definitely taller than him. And then he just had something like Palin can see idiots from her house. His thing wasn't even funny.
I think it was that Haley Joel Osment movie parody, but it didn't make any sense. Like Palin sees dead people or something.
And you never blink while you're out there.
This is very interesting. Do you remember the little girl who was handing out the flyers that said, don't buy these products?
I do.
She writes in her blog, I don't know how we got her blog. The first thing, I get to the protest, I'm handing out my flyers. The first thing I see is a sign saying, I'm a right-wing lunatic. He is ranting about something, and a bunch of media people are filming him. I start handing out flyers around the guy. I wasn't really clued in. I was handing out flyers, so I thought he was a deranged person on our side. Then the guy gets into my face, and I see that his pupils are pinpricks, and that he's not comprehending what's going on, and that there's something very wrong with him. So I get away fast.
Also, on this woman's blog, she has a picture of Dave, and if you scroll over it, you see what the caption is. It's drugged out maniac. Drugged out media plan who was removed by cops, 6/16/09.
This is what's great. This is what she's saying about HTG in her blog. She goes that she's saying that the protest about going after the sponsors, this is HTG, says the people who've sponsored the show haven't done anything wrong. Just because they're one joke that they don't like doesn't make any sense. Just say you don't like the joke, don't watch the show. If you don't like it, move on. Do the rest of us have to be deprived of something? James in Chicago, you're on Fez.
Hey, guys. I think Fez probably dropped the dime that Dave was going to be down there, and he was the plan. I'm starting to guess that.
Fez came a little late to the proceedings after Dave had been dragged from and put into his own pen. So I'm not... I don't think Fez had anything to do with this. Although, this is weird, Dave. After you left, we went across the street and we were just smoking and waiting for the Letterman audience to get out. And we see your first sign being used by some lady.
She
dropped
had
your
it.
Fire Letterman sign.
I did drop it, so I wonder where it went.
Yeah, it got put to good use.
The badly done one where the L in Letterman took up most of the poster board and then the rest of the name had to be squeezed into it.
Here's Sean in Arizona.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Yeah.
I think Dave was brilliant at the protest. I think he was being genuine, and at that point, he was no longer a plant. He was just being Dave. And Dave, you're a crazy motherfucker, and I'd follow you anywhere.
Well, it's very weird that you said that because there were listeners that just came and hanging out, and we were all watching Dave, and we started to say to each other, we don't know where the joke has stopped. Really what I probably did was just drop the lunatic into somebody else's deal. It's not like he was playing a lunatic anymore. The cameras made him so excited.
And I very much believe all my favorite actors are method actors.
Yeah.
So if you tell me, you could have a pro-Nazi rally, and I probably could,
well, the cameras,
be out there.
You are so fucking needy that that you wanted to give them everything that they wanted. 866 Ron Zero Fez, 866 Ron Zero Fez. Letting you know, there's just tons of these things that you can see Eastside Dave, New York Magazine, Access Hollywood, Entertainment Weekly, The Village Voice Online, The Daily Beast, Salon.com, TheStar.com, and of course there's an AP photo out there. And other people who took pictures that day have put them up on ronfez.net as well.
And I believe he showed up in video on the Greta Van Susteren show as well.
Yeah, that was just a quick peek, Fezzy. I don't even think they're even including that, because he was just in a crowd shot in that one. But you could see his stupid fucking sign. Hey, Arch, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, I got a call from a friend of mine who said he saw the guy that plays the cable guy commercials holding a sign at a protest.
Well, why when you know it's Dave's moment to shine, you have to bring up that he's not the most famous red-headed, bearded guy running around out there? Thanks, Arch. 866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. The Ron and Fez show. Eastside Dave is experiences his 15 minutes of fame as his pictures in the following magazines: New York Magazine Online, Access Hollywood, Entertainment Weekly, The Village Voice, Associated Press is running his photograph all around the country, Daily Beast, Salon, The Star, Entertainment Weekly. Congratulations.
Thank you, Ronnie. And if Patty Blagojevich can get on a show because of her 15 minutes.
Who's that? Oh, the wife?
Yeah. It's time for Eastside Dave to get on one of these celebrity reality survivor game shows.
So if you go to ronfez.net, you'll see tons of pictures of Eastside Dave just acting like a mad dog. And the Daily Beast claims that there was a huge red bearded man carrying a place card reading, "I'm a right-wing lunatic," screaming out such sentiments as, "I hate it when people tell jokes on television," "Jesus is speaking to me," and "Letterman is worse than Hitler." Did you say all those things, Dave?
I said all of those things, yes.
And they also were the only ones who realized that you were a plant from the Ron and Fez show. Although I would not say that you're a plant. You really are kind of a right-wing lunatic.
Yeah, I mean, those are my sentiments. I'm sorry if that's the case and you don't want to hear the truth.
Sam from the Sam and Dave show interviewed you, and we'll listen to a little bit of that.
Would you mind? What?
What's the haps?
What? What does that mean? What's the haps?
Well, I see you're making quite a ruckus here.
I'm very upset at what David Letterman has said about raping children and pooping on them and feeding them in improper places and taking them out to the laundry and spinning them on the ground and playing them with wiffle ball and using them to bowl and putting punch on their heads and feeding them Cool Ranch Doritos when nacho cheese is clearly the more delicious brand.
He didn't say any of that, sir.
Okay, well then I'm wrong and I must leave this protest now. Goodbye, everyone.
Don't leave!
I have to go home!
That's the press asking you not to leave?
Those were the people who were in charge of covering the protest, yeah. I'm not sure if they stepped over the line of objectivity. You know, and I was trying to be there and do a serious protest, and people are trying to come up to me and talk to me. That was the problem. You know, I don't mind you take a picture, but, you know, the microphones and all that.
They wanted to hear more about your opinions on Doritos as well.
What else does he have?
Sir, who are you talking to?
Damn it, everyone's in on this!
Who are you talking to?
It's not funny!
Sir, who are you talking to?
I'm talking to the press over here. Where are you from? Where are you from? What are you? What is this?
Sir!
Yes, sir.
You're making a mockery of this
Who is he from?
protest.
You're the presserazzi? Is that what your name is?
Sir!
Are you with the Letterman show?
No, am I for rape? Huh? That's like asking me if I'm for NAMBLA. And I am. But keep that on your...
Sir, did you just say you represent NAMBLA?
I do.
What's your name?
Stephen Baldwin.
Listen to the press, just giggling, their asses off.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what was so funny.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm trying to do this was serious business here. And I'm just going to ask the press if I do another protest.
And what is Sam doing other than just hitting the record button?
I don't know. I think
Why is he your partner? He's
like
doing
him.
nothing.
No, I like him, and I think I think he's good. But with that one, I put him on their side. So for the first time, we were quite at odds. And usually, we like each other and stuff, but I did not appreciate, just didn't appreciate being bombarded.
Any more stuff?
Sir, you're making
Free speech, right?
That's free speech for you! Sir!
Free speech!
Sir! You're making a mockery of this protest, sir. Sir! 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 Yes, sir.
I was on my hands and knees barking, and then I went into a song because I was outraged at how they were treating us Americans.
The media seemed to enjoy the song. They in that previous clip, they couldn't quit laughing to get out any question they wanted to ask.
And then I mistakenly called one of the media's sir because there was a lot of sir talk.
Who are you, sir? Who are you, sir? That's a woman.
I'm sorry about that.
That's a woman.
Ma'am, I was getting used to saying the word sir. It was just I messed up my verbal skills.
That's a woman.
Thank you.
Sir.
I know she is, ma'am.
I'm a man, and now you're being insulting.
I even called the woman a sir, and she was laughing. I didn't, it was like, that was an insult, not intentional, but, they really should stick to their jobs a little bit more.
We have any video of any of the stuff that you've done?
We have just the video that's on the, that's on...
Well, this is the guy fighting with you.
Yeah.
This is an old man who was fighting with you.
Just to set this up, this guy they had two jails for the people who are for Palin and the people who are for Letterman.
Yeah.
And there was neutral territory where you were not supposed to protest, and this dude wouldn't even let me stand on the sidewalk because I pissed him off so much.
Separated us so you wouldn't get beat up. So just move on the other side. Don't yell at this guy, please.
Oh, this is what we do. Our answer with violence.
They gave you a spot, so stay there.
You're not in the designated area over there.
They gave you a spot. They gave you a spot. It's not over here.
This is neutral territory.
No, that's your spot over there. That's
I
they
don't
set
have
up
any
for you.
signs up now. This is neutral territory.
They gave you a spot. They gave you a spot.
This is neutral territory, mister. I'd like to stand here and look at the people.
I know, maybe you'll get a spot on the show.
Cityscape of New York.
You gotta be pretty hot up.
That's a disgusting comment. Oh, put the over here, please. You can't block the street.
Ask them to stay on the other side.
Put it inside the over there. Over there. I will, but you don't need to try yelling at me.
So do it now, clear it out.
Let's go, guys. Clear it out here.
All right, there you have it. Here's what I like about that guy. He's about, I'd say 70 years old and 5 feet tall, and just fucking barrel-chested Dave. Just went barrel-chest into Dave.
Yeah.
He went chest up to your balls and just backed you up.
Right.
At one point, you went statue, where you just looked away from him and just quit moving altogether.
This one is Access Hollywood, and you made an appearance here, but I don't think you got to talk, right?
No, it's just, you could kind of faintly hear me screaming. In fact, I'm the only one who they couldn't turn down the audio all the way on.
Okay.
But
Then protesters, just over a dozen, showed up outside David Letterman's studio. The protesters demanding David be fired.
Many people who have been fired for far less. I think he ought to be suspended at the very least.
More of that showed up outside David Letterman's studio. The protesters demanding David be fired.
Many people who have been fired for far less. I think he ought to be suspended at the very least.
More backlash. One CBS advertiser, Embassy Suites, has temporarily pulled its ads from the CBS website.
So that was the thing. It was just a very quick clip. And but I, hey, listen, Access Hollywood, I'll take it. And
Sure.
Honestly, why can I not parlay this, as you said, 15 minutes of fame into me getting on TV now?
What about this? You turn your 15 minutes of fame into a half hour.
So I'll double it, I guess.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Double it, cut it in half, and then double it.
I mean, Holly Montag is on I Want to Be a Celebrity, Get Me
I don't know
Out
who
of
that
Here.
is.
That's Heidi's sister. Most Americans barely know who Heidi Montag is. To have her sister on the show, and you can't put me with Stephen Baldwin trying to compete for games and prizes?
I noticed that the other day when HTG was asked to do that show, you were a little jealous. You always get jealous when other people get asked to do
Put me on panel. Put me on television.
But why aren't you angry every day? You only get angry when somebody you know gets on TV.
Why is she supposed to be on the show?
Well,
What
they
is
called her
HTG?
up. She's got.
Why did they call me up?
I think she's done 7 or 8 of these national TV shows now, so she's in their Rolodex.
I know, but email
If anything comes up about free speech, they ask for her. The American people were all over her when we walked up there yesterday.
I know. She was probably the biggest star out there. And I'm just simply saying I want mine.
You need to wait for Letterman to have to apologize again about something.
I think I'm going after someone who's just, if I'm watching Today's Show. If Al Roker steps out of line, he's gone.
Well, he was in a big fight the other day.
I saw that with the Heidi Montag. I saw that. Yeah, he was out of line, in fact. A good point.
Radio Shark wants to talk to you, David. Radio Shark.
Hey, Ron, you missed 2 other magazines that Dave's on the cover. Cracked and Mad magazine.
Okay, thanks.
I don't take offense to that, sir.
Crack and Mad magazine.
Mad magazine's my little avatar on my AOL Instant Messenger.
Frank in Charlotte.
Yeah, you missed the best part of the YouTube clip where Dave's screaming about the guy in the plaid in the neutral zone.
We just watched that.
What happened with us is we missed, and it is our fault for not having video out there, and then Sam didn't show up till way late. You thought you were going to have Sam there?
I was hoping that he was going to have his video camera.
And then Mooch also, right?
Yeah, he was stuck in Jersey. I thought he was going to be able to, but he's stuck in Jersey, so.
He wrote back to me, and I wrote to him, I go, in my whole nutty fucking career, nuttiest day ever. Nuttiest day ever seeing you surrounded by that many cameras and see you just act like a crazy street person.
Well, the message had to get out there. I mean, there's no reason to be shy if you're going to be a protester.
It wasn't comedy. I mean, I'm sure it was some kind of parody. I don't know what, though. I could only really... it
was protest.
I thought of it more as a breakdown. I thought you had a mental breakdown.
Is there any chance that this protest ends up working and Letterman ends up getting fired?
No.
I mean, it doesn't seem like they're willing to stick with it. I mean, they couldn't stick with it yesterday. They couldn't get chants together.
But at the same time, Fezzi, has Les Moonves stood up and said, we back David Letterman?
I haven't heard it.
Summer Redstone?
No.
So that lets you know. And here's one of the interesting things. The people had signs that said, CBS, you fired Imus, now fire Letterman. So there is, people think that you can get people fired if you're mad at and they're going after the Snickers company.
Yeah. That's right.
They handed out a list. Do you have it with you, Fez? The list of...
I don't have it with me, but I think I remember most of the stuff on it.
We need the actual list. Do any of us have it?
Oh, the Kellogg's Snickers list. I don't know. I can check the person's website.
Yeah, maybe check out their website. Jimmy Olsen Blues, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Ronnie, the bid has been great up to this point. The risk you run that if you don't give him the Beanie Cup today, this could fracture the crown. There could be a people's choice for Beanie Cup. I would like the bid to end. I would like East Side Dave for Beanie Cup, sir, and I love you.
Now, let me just say this, Jimmy. Maybe this is what Dave needs to keep on chasing the tiger. I think I got... all right, let me read off this. Here are the... It's firedaveletterman.com. Okay. Here are the names that I think that we should all go out and buy these products. Snickers. Or you could email the Snickers company and say, support David Letterman. Kellogg's and Johnson & Johnson. If you're the type of person that cares a little bit about this, say, write any of those companies an email and say, I really do support a company that can stand next to somebody when they're on fire. By the way, Olive Garden is also in there. Olive Garden.
Yeah, and they're even going after the banner ads on the Late Show website, which are Home Depot, Cracker Barrel, Neiman Marcus, and Cabela.
First of all, I want Mikey Boy to write them all down, too. I'd like to see him get some better banner ads there for himself.
Now, with Snickers, Kellogg's, and Johnson & Johnson, I used all those products within the past 24 hours. They kept saying Snickers so much at that protest, I had to stop and get the giant size on the way home. And then, of course, I had my Kellogg's Rice Krispies this morning and powdered up with some Johnson & Johnson lavender-scented baby powder.
I love how no matter what's happening, you bring it home. You bring it to yourself. It really reminds us what's the most important.